Hello guys, and welcome to today's mental health show live on Showtime TV. Thank you so much for joining us today. We were on a short break, but we are so happy that we are here, and I am your host WACHERA GIKONYO alongside Dubs Africa. Karibuni sana ladies, you look great. And today's topic, we are going to talk about self-esteem, but before we continue, let us have the ladies introducing themselves. Karibuni sana. Let's start from the far is it right? Yes. Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Christine Shege, and I'm so glad to be here today. I'm a member of Dubs Africa. Thank you.
Yes.
My name is Grace Maina, and I'm so glad to be part of the show, and I'm also a member of Dubs Africa.
Thank you so much. And on our audience, for our audience out there, please make sure that you have commented below. Please participate because this is an open forum, and as I have mentioned, we are going to talk about self-esteem. So probably we can start by one of you explaining to us what self-esteem is. Maybe you can start from the left.
I would say self-esteem is the personal beliefs of someone with regards to their worth and value.
Tuko live. We are still live. Sorry about the sound, guys. We're trying to fix it.
So I was saying the definition of self-esteem. I would say it's the personal beliefs of someone with regards to their value and their worthiness, how they value themselves.
Okay, I simply just how somebody values themselves. Yeah. Okay, all right. So how can you know? Okay, there are different types of self-esteems. I understand there are people with very high self-esteem, like tunasema kwa Kiswahili wanajisikia sana. I think that's what we normally use here in Kenya. Kujisikia sana is like feeling yourself a lot. Then you have those ones who are like moderately, they are normal, they're fine, their self-esteem is okay. But then there are those with low self-esteem, and today I think we are going to base so much on the people with low self-esteem, because you have so many people with low self-esteem depending on various things that are happening in their lives, or how they look like, what they're doing, people surrounding them. So probably you can maybe give us an insight of people with high self-esteem, normal self-esteem, and low self-esteem. Give us the characteristics of the three.
So those people with high self-esteem, they tend to... Okay, first let me just say, I don't know what normal self-esteem means.
Okay, like the average, the one that's supposed to be. I think that's how it's supposed to be. Okay, let's discuss high and low. Yeah, that's okay.
Normal.
All right.
Yeah, but a characteristic of someone with high self-esteem, they are confident in themselves, they are able to take criticism, they love themselves, their self-worth is very high, they appreciate themselves, they know their weaknesses and their strengths. What else now? So those are basically the characteristics of someone with very high or high self-esteem in general.
Yes.
And someone with low self-esteem, it's exactly the opposite. People who can take criticism, whether positive, as in any sort of criticism, they are unable to keep their emotions in check. They get affected very easily by external factors. They don't love themselves. They view themselves in a very negative light. They always talk negatively about themselves per se. They just don't value themselves.
Okay. Yes. So people with high self-esteem, as I have mentioned before, like we say, those people who feel themselves, and is it like, can it be like a negative thing sometimes, or can it be like a negative thing where somebody has a really high self-esteem and probably people who are around them are like, okay, this person has a high self-esteem, but there's something off about them. Could it be a way of them covering up maybe some skeletons in their closets sometimes?
When we talk about self-esteem, like my colleague said, self-esteem is how you view yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. So for you to have a high self-esteem, you love yourself, you accept yourself the way you are, you accept your thoughts and your flaws and your strengths, all of that. So for that, what you're saying, very high self-esteem.
Yes, extremely high.
Yeah, we can talk about arrogance, kinda. I
Okay.
wouldn't say, self-esteem. I wouldn't call it esteem because there are people who have low self-esteem, but they overdo things.
Yes,
They
yes.
try to prove a point, per se. So this person who is overdoing something, I wouldn't say they have a high self-esteem. They actually have a low and you will know. You will know. People are constantly trying to prove a point, even when there is nothing really to prove.
Okay.
I wouldn't say they have a high self-esteem. I'd say they have issues with their esteem.
All right.
Yes.
So some people will try to cover up negative things such as bullying in school. Probably you find somebody is bullying somebody who is, small, and probably people will be like, "Oh, this girl has high self-esteem," but that is sort of like somebody has like a high self-esteem trying to prove something by trying to hide the fact that they have skeletons in their closets, but they're trying to prove a point, right? All right. So tell me, how can one tell that one has self-esteem? What are some of the things you should look out for in somebody who has low self-esteem and know this one needs a talk, or you should encourage them to have high self-esteem?
It's like characters of someone with low self-esteem. So one, you have low confidence in yourself.
Okay.
Another one is when you are partaking in maybe like a group activity, you have quite like a less energy when you are doing that activity because you feel like you don't want to outdo someone, or you just want to be behind the scenes. So as you're there with other people, you just want to be low key the whole time. Another one is like you feel you're not worthy to be somewhere or to be with someone, so you just in an activity in school, you try to do your best, but your parents is like, you didn't perform as the way they expected. So if they constantly do that over and over again, you see the way you value yourself will go down because you'll feel like there's something you're not doing because they're not happy. So maybe bad parenting can attribute to someone having low self-esteem in the end. Another one might be psychological. And will you explain that?
So she said about bad parenting. Something else can be being around people who are always negative about everything.
Yes.
It tends to pull you down. It tends to if Grace is my friend, but she's always negative about things. So about things that I'm doing, it will tend to push me down.
Yes.
My worth, I'll start saying, hey, no one is appreciating what I'm doing. Yes, there is that. Also, failing constantly. You try things, they're not working out. You're like, yeah, as in So whatever trauma that you went through can lead you to having a low self-esteem. Also, constant bullying. Okay, let me rephrase my thoughts. When kids are growing up, they tend to look at you, up to you as the parent, to appreciate what they're doing. And if you're not doing that, it will bring them really low. It will cause their esteem to go low. So they will grow up knowing mama tahani appreciating, and when they compare themselves to other kids, mama yako anakuappreciating, ulifanya poa kwa exam akakubaya sweet, my mom doesn't do nothing like that. So this kid will grow up knowing because my first caregiver, the first caregiver who supposed to take care of me, was supposed to fulfill that need for me, didn't do that. So no one else will. So what do? I'll have a low self-esteem from the word.
Okay, but don't you think that can be sometimes way too much? Like a child might fail to do something because that one time you're going to give them something, but the moment you don't give them something, they might like not do it. They're like, if you're not going to buy me something, I'm not going to do it. Don't you think that kind of motivation? Okay, when you look at motivation, it's good that we sometimes give our children something when they do something good, but what if there's a case of a child who has done something and then you keep on giving them something, like for example, if it's like a snack or a lunch date, then on this specific time they do the same thing and you don't give them, and then they start becoming failures. As much as we are doing that to raise their high self-esteem, don't you think that kind of motivation to raise their self-esteem can sometimes be negative?
When I say you reward them, I don't mean you over pamper them, because then again, kids, when they get used to something, wanaribika or something. So there are so many different ways of rewarding your kid. You literally don't have to give them something materialistic.
Yes.
A positive word of encouragement goes a real long way. You tell your kid, you did great in school today, such words.
Yes.
You don't have to give them only pass exam, so take this money or take this or do this.
Yes.
That will tend to spoil them, and you don't want your child to become a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
But when you see your kid is making an effort in being better, even if they have not, hata kama hajafika ligi yenye unataka, tell them, you hukufika, but there's always next time. So congratulations for doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for you,
Yeah. As parents, I think it's very important that we choose what we tell our kids. We should be very careful about what we tell our kids, because sometimes you find in Africa, I always quote Africa because I'm an African kid, and I have seen parents doing this. Sometimes even you find parents abusing their kids. There's hakuna mahali utawaienda. There's this TikTok thing that is going on ati mwalimu wa mathematics ulisema sitaenda mbali, niko hapa ni wapi? So even in schools, let's look at reinforcement. We have positive and negative reinforcement, isn't it? So positive reinforcement probably is when you award a child because they have done this, but let's look at the methods that teachers will use to punish the students. Because first of all, corporal punishment is now gone, so teachers are now turning to giving kids labor or something. So does it actually really lower self-esteem? Can punishment from schools, some of the punishments that we are given, because I remember sometimes when I was in high school, a teacher would when people would get late. I think this was a common thing in high schools. You'd get late to wake up for prep, and then you're told to sleep outside somewhere the whole day. And I think that was a very bad way of punishing. So do you think that some of these punishments are given can affect a person's lifetime, self-esteem? Can it alter?
Yeah, for some it can, because let's take an example of that example you have given.
Yes.
The student who was late for preps and akamwalale hapo mbele ya kila mtu. Let's say the student was unwell, so he or she didn't intentionally get late, but sasa the teacher has kizi story yake, si amemwambia tu go do the punishment hivyo tu. And then there's another example whereby the other student, sasa student B, purposefully slept, akizwanga, akaamshwa, akakataa kuamka, and then akakuwa punished the same way. Let's say they were even punished together, the two of them. So you see, for one will feel like their side of the story haikusikika.
Yeah.
And the other one was like, maybe I deserved it, I didn't. So hiyo hadi itakuwa issue kwake. So for the one who felt like he or she didn't deserve it, hiyo inaweza muaffect sana, because maybe they are struggling in the academics. So first of all, they feel like if people see him or her doing the sleeping punishment, ata feel maybe watu wanaona haja put in effort ya kusoma. Maybe the parents are struggling to pay the fees, so unaona kumiss class itafanya feel I'm letting my parents down.
Yes.
So it may be the answer to your question might be it depends with the factor that like led to the punishment. But at the same time, teachers should be wise with the type of punishments they are giving, and they should like try to listen to the side of the students.
Yeah, in my situation, I'd say that if teachers are giving punishments out there, please give a punishment that is going to help the child even in future. Like, you cannot tell me to dig a hole that is the size of my head and then you tell me to like put the soil back. I mean, what was the point of it all? If you told me like, go dig that dig something and then you plant a tree, at least I have done something positive. But if you now tell me, go shake the fence until the termite is there's a imagine, you spend like a whole day shaking all the fences in the school because they want the termites to go away. I'm like, some of these things that our teachers do in school, they kind of like, they don't know the impact that they normally bring to the students, because at a school institution is supposed to mold a child, is supposed to mold a student to become a better person. So I think even the reinforcement, the punishments that are normally given in schools, I think they should also be a positive thing to the person. Okay, so now let's look at how the role of the society in helping people improve their self-esteem. Like, for example, we are still on adolescence. A girl has gotten pregnant in school, a teenage pregnancy. It is common, but it is not, we don't advocate for it. But what if a girl has gotten pregnant in school and now she has to come back? So now she's facing the society and she's facing the students, okay, and the teachers too. So how can you help such a girl? Because we have cases of girls who have gotten pregnant in school and now they have to go back to the same school. How do you help such a girl to maintain her high self-esteem?
I would say, first of all, she should be in acceptance of the situation she is. Because haezi change, haezi pata reset button aanze upya. So acceptance, accept, asha make like a step towards having a good esteem about herself.
Yes.
So we said esteem ni the value you're giving yourself. Another one is society might come in with shame and
yes,
because if she's shamed, unaona tapata hiyo guilt. So society watu kwa judgmental wanafaa, sometimes it's not really your business, so just stay out of it unless she's like your daughter or na relate in any way. So for the girl, if she goes back to school, she should have a good support system, maybe classmates, ama a good teacher, maybe ama pia siku hizi kuna school counselors. She can go there and offload, because at the same time, she went from being a teenager, a teenage girl, to a teen mom.
Yeah.
So, and motherhood has its own load.
Yes.
She's in school, she has the workload of the school. So if she has a good support system and as a balance vizuri na she just finds a way to move on.
Yeah. So the first step in having high self-esteem is acceptance. Whatever the situation you have gone through, and if you are going through that situation where probably you got pregnant in high school, or you have a daughter or a niece or a person you're taking care of who has gotten pregnant in school and have to go back, you talk to them about, first of all, accepting, and the fact that you have kept this child and you have been a mother, and a mother comes with so much. You're already a hero. First of all, accept the fact that you're already a hero. You do not abort the baby. You're like, okay, fine, I know the baby came and now I'm a mother, so I face it. So that is bravery, first of all. So accept yourself. And of course, you talked about seeking counseling. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you wanted to say something? All right. So let us work towards our self-esteem, and I'm thinking that we shall look at other situations, probably social media, how it lowers self-esteem, and what we should do. Because first of all, we have social media every day. We are always on our phones, on our tablets. There's no way you can avoid Instagram unless if you decide to. So we are on our next session. We are going to look at how we are going to deal with social media in when it comes to self-esteem. How we don't allow social media to lower our self-esteem, and also how social media can help us improve on our self-esteem. So we'll be right back, guys, and don't forget to comment. Please comment below. We are going on the next session, and I'm looking forward to your comments, those watching us live. Thank you so much. This is Showtime TV with me, WACHERA, GIKONYO, and Dubs Africa. I'll see you on the next All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us for our next session of mental health awareness. Remember, our topic today is on self-esteem, and pale kwa page I can see some few people have commented. We have Gameloft, thank you so much. A nice session, keep the comments coming in. We have Rubua, thank you so much, watching from Nyeri, wherever you're watching from. Please make sure that you have commented. And as we continue our session, I mentioned that there is very high self-esteem, there's very low self-esteem, but there's that healthy self-esteem. Can you explain to us that we know nijue kama I have healthy self-esteem? Tell us the characteristics of a healthy self-esteem.
So there are 3 dimensions of self-esteem.
Yes.
The low one, the healthy one, in the middle, and the overly high. So for your self-esteem to be in a healthy manner, the way you view yourself, the value you're giving yourself should be, realistic.
Yes.
And you're not adding things that should be there or deducting things that should be there. So some of the characteristics might be like your confidence is like, you're not overconfident, or you don't lack confidence. You're just confident with yourself. Another one is you're like positive, and you're just realistic in what you're doing. Yeah? Okay. Yeah.
Does age also come with high self-esteem, like the normal self-esteem? Because sometimes they say that when somebody gets to 30, your self-esteem gets to be normal. Can you compare like a 30-year-old self-esteem to a 20-year-old self-esteem?
No. Because I'm 20 years old. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
For example, I'm 20. I still, when it comes to, okay, let me take you back a little bit.
Yes.
So when a kid is growing, there are stages that you go through. We call them stages of development.
Yes.
And when you become a teenager, you're always in that stage of identity versus role confusion.
Yes.
This is where you either identify yourself with what you like to do, as in yourself. If I ask you, WACHERA, who are you? You can tell me. And the reverse, the opposite of that is role confusion. You don't know where to fit in. You don't know what you like. You just this is the kind of person who is always going with the crowd. Yes. So that is how you grow. So for this person and it extends from teenager to adolescence to as you grow.
Yes.
See kitu ya one time thing ati umeshaji identify, because how do you build your identities? By exploring new things and getting to just explore life. And it comes as you go.
Yes.
So when you're 20, you can't really, as in your esteem bado haiko stable vizuri, because bado watu wanakujaribungi hapa na pale, and then this is the age where you try things and it don't work out. You have school, you're failing maybe, or grades zako zinaenda zikipanda zikishukanga, so it messes up with you. But when you also care about what other people say about you, so mtu akikurushia negative comment,
it gets to you much.
It really gets to you, and it really affects you. So you can't compare that with a 30-year-old who's already lived life, and they really don't give a damn what you say about them. Wewe sema tu,
that's your problem. They have been years, they've gone through that. Yes.
That is a you problem. I'm living my life, man. So you can't really compare them.
Okay.
You can't compare a 20-year-old with a 40-year-old. You can't.
Yeah.
They have their
different experiences.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about money. They say that money kind of raises somebody's self-esteem. I mean, when you just sit there and then you just win a lottery of like 100,000 shillings. If you're having like a headache, whatever disease that you're having, you just get cured. So, does money really improve someone's self-esteem, or it just gets to your head and make you feel good? because people will say that let me just ask this, do like people who live in poverty necessarily have low self-esteem, and those guys who are like rich billionaires or rich millionaires, do they really have a high self-esteem? Is the money an influencer of self-esteem?
partly it does influence your self-esteem. Because unaona go back to the background you came from.
Yes.
Because if you feel like you have financial security, you feel like enyewe we make it.
Yes.
But if you're feeling like you still have some way to go and like you beat yourself down, so self-esteem yako itakuwa chini. An example I can give maybe ni when we're in high school, for those of us who went to boarding schools, during visitations, unapata maybe other people wameletewa snacks,
yes.
a lot of bags, umeletewa maybe maji na tuchapo kadhaa.
Manze.
So you see, and maybe
ama babako amekuja na gazeti. Hey! Your dad has come to visit you and they have only brought a newspaper. Guy dads out there, please. And a bottle of water.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, is you go back to the dorm, you're just seeing people packing the snacks in their boxes.
Some of these you don't even know what they are.
Na wewe yako tenka tu kwa backpack na ni.
Yeah.
So utasikia yenyewe you just feel so low.
Yeah.
And so for the finances and the background do affect.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we work hard for the money. Money kind of like changes everything. Not kind of, it changes everything. But it doesn't always mean that people who are millionaires always have high self-esteem. I think it self-esteem always comes from an individual, how they carry themselves. So there are people who have a lot of money, but they still have low self-esteem. When you go to the gym, you find that somebody has a lot of money, but they're like, oh my God, my body looks like this. Even physical appearance can also bring high self-esteem. So don't always think that people who have money always have that high self-esteem. It always depends with you, and your happiness you create your own happiness. I mean, you fine, you have been having that big tummy, or you look in a certain way and you're like, damn, I cannot walk in public because I look like this. Embrace it, shine with it. Whoever has a problem with you, they'll just come and tell you, hey, dude, you have this and this and this. So I'm thinking that, it's just accepting yourself and just saying, everybody is human. Everybody, they say that the time that you are dead is longer than the time in which you are alive. Yeah? Okay, think about that. The time that you'll be dead will be longer than the time you're alive. So you don't have time to take time to think about what people say about me, what will think these people think about me. So it's always good to live your life and create your own happiness. So probably maybe you can mention how do we improve on our low self-esteem? What are some of the things that we should do on our day-to-day lives to make us get to that healthy self-esteem?
I'd say something that really tops the list when it comes to you building your self-esteem is knowing yourself.
Yes.
Self-awareness goes a very long way, because if I know myself, I am Christian. These are these are my strengths and these are my flaws.
Yes.
Nothing can ever bring me down. Nothing. And I have accepted myself. Mimi nikafupi, mimi nikakonde, mimi nikashort, around,
tired.
Hata ushindo ukiniambia nitakuuliza, okay, yes, mimi nikafupi, kadogo, kadot. And okay, what do I do about it? So knowing yourself leads you to accepting yourself. You know yourself, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses, especially hapo kwa kujua weaknesses zako, because that's something that most people fail at.
Yeah.
If I don't know what I'm weak at, if I can't, when you point it out, I will perceive that as an attack. So what it does is you're attacking me, so it brings my esteem very low. So I will tend to either get over defensive or I will nitakuwa over defensive, ama nikwe tu moody, ama ni change tu as in nikwe tu low. For instance, I know I can't sing, but I will try my best to sing. Then ukuje from a good place, ukuje niambie, hey Christy, sauti yako si ya kuimba, maybe you can try, but you can draw, yeah. But you and singing, no. What I will do, I don't know, I have not accepted. My voice is not for singing. Yangu ni mzuri ya kuongea lakini kuimba, that's where we draw the line. Yeah. So what I'll do is I will see that as an attack, and it will bring me down.
I think it's it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I mean, even when you're dealing with a person, especially a person who has low self-esteem, I think it's good that you always watch your words. You're like, you know what? You cannot sing, by the way. That is God. But you can, yeah, exactly. Watch how you put it. You know, you cannot sing, but I think you're good in dancing. Yeah, why don't you try dancing? Because, you know, one side has gone low, but the other side has gone up. Yeah, so it's what you say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Choose your why, choose your words.
Yes. So you knowing yourself will really contribute to how your self-esteem is.
Yeah.
It will contribute you to having a high self-esteem. Also, surround yourself with people who build you.
Yeah.
Not people who bring you down.
Not people who always put you down.
Yeah, and they don't necessarily have to tell you negative things. Maybe your circle of friends ni watu wa kusengenya watu. Like they're always negative about things. Not necessarily for you, but for other people. So easy negativity, you soak them up. You soak them up without subconsciously. You don't know you're soaking it up, but so it will tend to have an effect on your esteem. Yeah. So surround yourself with people who are building you emotionally and psychologically. Yeah. Yes. So, and also talk to yourself positively. How you talk to yourself really goes a long way.
Yeah, what you think about yourself is exactly what you're going to be. You think, I am beautiful. I mean, look at me. Damn. Yeah, every day you look at yourself in the mirror. Yeah, look at me.
Exactly.
You walk head high.
Yes. So how you talk, I always tell people, how you talk to your best friend, you wouldn't tell your best friend negative things.
Yes.
You wouldn't tell your best friend bad things. So be your own best friend. How I'd talk to Gracie is the same way I should talk to myself.
Yes.
Yeah. In a kind way. In a loving manner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Compliment yourself. Before anyone compliments you, tell yourself, hey, leo ninakaa fiti, leo nimeua. Hata mtu asipokuambia, you already know. Yeah, and you're okay with it, you know. Yeah. So those are some of the things that you can do to build your self-esteem. Also meditating, mindful meditation. You know, when you are there with your thoughts, you sit down with your thoughts, you challenge the negative thoughts you have. You point out the positive thoughts that you have. Yeah,
exactly. And also evaluating yourself. Probably somebody has ever told you, oh, kuna venye hiki atu, this shoe. You evaluate yourself and you're like, by the way, when I was wearing it, it looked like this, but maybe next time I can try. Also, it's good to evaluate yourself. You know, sometimes people could be telling you that you look in a certain way and you take it negatively. Like, for example, if you've overdone your makeup and probably someone comes and tells you, today you look good, but your makeup is overly done. So when you go home, you're like, hey, by the way, it's true. Probably you just take it as, you know, as a correction rather than taking it as a way of putting you down. Like, because some people are actually really genuine. So thank you so much for today's session. Unless you have other points maybe that we can use to improve our self-esteem.
Maybe if your self-esteem was arising from your physical appearance, let's say a surrounding weight, you can maybe start working out, or if you want to gain weight, maybe look for the right diet to eat and work. That's it. Kama ni inakuja from grades, you can, you know, find other ways to study.
That's true. Exactly. That's a good point. Because, for example, maybe your legs make you feel, you know, you have low self-esteem. Work on them. If it is, for example, your body, how it looks like, go to the gym, try to diet. If it's your grade, look for ways in which you can improve on them. Because the more you improve on something, the more your self-esteem is going up. That's a very, very good point. So, unless you have like a party shot before we close the show, today we're having don't forget that if you have an advertisement, please place it so that we put it on our show. And also don't forget that in the evening today we are going to go live on Showtime TV with Muturi Ed. I can't wait to see you there. Make your way to Showtime Cinema where we have movies. We also have a studio here called Showtime Studio where you're going to have the best photography, and of course when you come here you're going to have the best of the movie screening here. We're about to put our 3D here, and you also have other forums here. Make sure that you follow this page. And as we conclude, let us have a parting shot from our beautiful ladies from Dabs Africa.
So about self-esteem, I have two things to say. One is about the topic of today. self-esteem, don't base building your high self-esteem on other people. It should come from you.
Yes.
You build yourself. It's all about you. How you talk to yourself, how you see yourself, how you view yourself. It really goes a long way.
Yes.
Don't say ati juu Victor ananionanga hivi, juu Victor ananiambianga hivi. Inafanya base as, you know, of the gospel truth.
Yes.
You know. Yes. So it starts from you. And that's all I can say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She has something to say.
For me, it's about an initiative that we are working on. We are partnering with St. Mary's Nursing Home. Together with DABS, we have projects that helps the less fortunate. And what you do, you send the word TIBU to 23,795. And from your airtime, you're deducted 10 shillings. And yeah, so what that money will go towards is maybe helping them with for those who are struggling with school fees, and those who are struggling with medical covers, and then St. Mary's Nursing Home will chip in and help you.
Okay, thank you so much. You're going to put up those details on the screen. Thank you so much. And as we conclude, I'm going to read out some of your comments. You have Place Media saying Nanyuki well represented. Thank you so much. We also have Photo Edit saying show ni kali. Thank you so much. We appreciate. Shout out to all our fans out there. Thank you so much for watching this show. Thank you so much, Dabs Africa, for your insights. We're so happy to have you back. We're so happy to have this show back. We're taking a break, but we are glad that we're here. Thank you, my audience, for being an awesome audience. I'll see you on the next one, and we are going to put I think maybe you can mention the next topic will be
the next topic will be on self-care and building healthy boundaries.
Yes, exactly. Self-care and building healthy boundaries. We can't wait for that topic.
Join us on Wednesday. Google Meets.
Yeah, I almost forgot that.
So we will share the link on Wednesday at 8 to 10 p.m. Google Meets, and then Saturday we will be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've been your host, WACHERA GIKONYO. I'll see you on the next one. Share, subscribe, like, and I'll see